you have the ability to reach more people. You have the ability to do more things if you will only exercise your ability to use your mind in a way that it was created to be used, and let your brain be the storage unit that processes all that information. Because it's just not the brain and the brain and the mind, this couple that's going on. Now you're talking about your emotions, you're talking about your imaginations, you're talking about your affections, you're talking about your will. Like, all of those are ancillary tentacles to those two components who are collaborating with one another.
Through what?
Build $1,000,000 legacy with purpose. Hey, y'all, it's been a minute, but we are back in the space again. I am Dr. Marnita, on fire. Hey, with combos for your calling under the umbrella of Build $1,000,000 Legacy with Purpose. And yes, this is our third season. So excited. This is our third episode of the third season. Like 3-3. Tamiko, 3-3.
Right?
Three numerology wise, like 3 is the means holy, right? Like
I,
holy.
I guess.
Holy, like God the Father and the Holy Spirit. Let's come on now. Holy. And we are talking about real absolute wellness. Raw. We being raw. Actually, that's the whole listen. See how everything is aligning up together. We're talking about being raw this season. Real absolute wellness. I am your performance coach and achievement coach. I'm so excited to be here with my co-host. Hey, girl.
What's happening? Thank you for welcoming me. How are you? And I'm Tamiko Ruby J. Oh, I'm just getting to listen, y'all. I'm at the house. Look, welcome to the house. Welcome to the room. Tamiko Ruby J here, your spiritual coach and mentor and Reiki master teacher and more. We'll tell you what that means soon. But anyway, welcome. Are y'all ready for real conversations, attitude on rawness and wellness and what that means? Listen, lean in. Because if you don't, you're going to get snatched in anyway.
So, Tamiko, somebody that I know commented on one of has been listening to our conversations. And what the person said is that I really like the way it flows, because it sounds like, and this is where I chuckled, it sounds like y'all having like a real conversation, like y'all, there's nothing like scripted or anything like that. I said, well, maybe because
we are. We are.
Maybe because that's true. So today we are having a conversation as it relates to raw, but it's more of around the words that is preventing you to live in real absolute wellness. These are words that diminish, degrade your ability to align yourself in that space. I think for me, I've learned that these words can really be a roadblock. And some of the words that we're going to be sharing, by no way are they all inclusive. I am so sure there's always more, right? Tamiko, there's always more. And what we just want to do is give you a taste of the things that you may be, those words that you may be using, that is really kind of serving as a blockage to your ability to access real absolute wellness. Is that fair?
Absolutely. One of the things that one of my closings a lot on text message, emails, and is remember energy goes where the mind flows. But also to remember that words have power. They have a lot of power. And depending on how they're presented is how they land and how they're perceived. So whatever you tell yourself, usually you believe it.
And it is all about what you believe. So we're going to stop distorting. We're going to stop degrading. We're going to start stop diminishing ourselves in this space. Because on the other side of all of that, that's where all the possibilities are. That's where all of our abundance is. That's where all of our supernatural essence resides. And I know when I became very aware of these words when I was using them. When I became very aware of that, I had to stop myself in the tracks, and that's what sometimes you have to do. You have to hear yourself say the word because sometimes things can be so habitual. I'm sorry, that you don't even know that you're saying it.
Mhm. The beauty in it too is as you one thing that is really beautiful about awareness, and especially wellness awareness, because often and what I'm seeing now, and this is really interesting because as a certified holistic health practitioner over 15 years, whatever that means, you know, integrative um integrative complementary medicines, which is things like acupuncture, massage, chiropractors, um, Reiki, polarity therapy, all of these different modalities. There's about 36 that are considered complementary. But these things were poo-pooed by the medical field for many, many, many years because there wasn't a lot of science behind it. People were getting results, but in the United States, if you don't have science, actual scientific fact, so facts to support what is being claimed, then it's not relevant, supposedly. I don't care how well you get. But with that being said, what I realized with studying, oftentimes the mind had to change before any other thing could change, unless your leg is broke and the bone is hanging out. Okay. I don't care what you think, you probably need to go to a surgeon. Okay. But what I found to be very interesting is that and what got me on this path was I was having my own health concerns and difficulties. And so it was just interesting. I was very successful at the time, running on, man, adrenaline, real adrenaline, probably some vodka too, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But I was running on adrenaline and it was wearing me all the way out. And so even the medical diagnoses, they couldn't give me anything, but then they started talking about exploratory surgeries, just stuff that didn't make sense to me. But I started working with a naturopath and talking to a naturopath and some things of that because my blood work showed that things were off. Okay. But based on what they were giving me as far as a diagnosis and how my life rolled, me being out of work for 10 weeks just wasn't an option for me. So that's what made me start looking at other forms and ways of health. Okay. And the first thing I had to do was sit down and um, evaluate my life and ask myself, what was I doing and what could I do differently? And a lot of it had to do with self-talk because I was telling myself I had to do this, I had to be that, I had to get this done, I had to. on this very interesting timeline that I had put myself on. And one of my spiritual teachers had said to me, "You're one of the most positive people that I know, but you're the hardest on yourself."
Oh, that's good. I just told somebody, oh my God, just today I said, you need to stop doing that to yourself. Like you're condemning yourself over something that you gave your best and because you didn't have, because it didn't work out
The
the way
result didn't come out the way you wanted. Yeah. And
you're,
I,
you're just like beating yourself up for no reason.
yeah.
And
Well,
so I said to her, oh, I'm so glad you said that. I said to her, did you do the best that you could do at that moment with all that you had? Did you give it your all? And the person said, yes. I said, what you say after yes is irrelevant.
that part, that part. But what I realized in my yes, it was a no, because you can't give 100% to that one thing when you got yourself spread in 9 things. That's a no.
That's a good one.
That's a
That's a
no,
really good one. Oh my God, that's a really good one.
right? Because I'm giving the best of what I have in that moment, but I'm already thinking about what's going on over here. You're not giving your best. And that's why when I returned to Cleveland, it was very interesting because, you know, people thought I was about to pick up the baton and start doing what I was doing before I left. And when I tell you that was a struggle, that was a mental and it became physical struggle to not, again, jump right back in it.
Yeah.
And people were like, in what? Google me. No, I'm just kidding. The esthetician, the makeup artist, uh I was spiritual coaching then. I just didn't know that's what it was called. But the I mean just at it, going, traveling. Um and then I realized, when you are blessed with the uh, the awareness that being still and being quiet is nourishing, is comfortable, is relaxing. And guess what? Everything that needs to get done still gets done. Bills get paid. Everything is fine. No fire. I was like, oh, seriously? And I remember, thinking, and actually this was brought to my attention early. Um, Another conversation with a friend, because we were having a conversation about who works harder, a laborer or a person with physical labor hands, or a person that uses their mind, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, physical labor, I mean, if you use your mind. um and then he said to me, he said, well, if I cut both of your hands off, could you still live? I said, yeah, if I don't bleed out. He said, if I blew your brains out, could you still live? I said, probably not. He said, so think about what you're saying. I said, but Tamiko, quick with an answer. I said, well, I guess I'm thinking about some of the people that I know and how they use their brain. And since they're only using this much of it, how hard is that? He just started laughing. Okay. So if you think about the brain as a muscle and just how much of it do we use, and if we would use more of our brain, we probably would have to use less of our limbs,
Well, that's for sure.
right?
That is for sure.
So yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to use more of the brain and less of the limbs.
Well, now, wait, right now, here goes my mind, right?
Okay.
So here goes my mind
Okay.
as it relates to the brain. So mind is intangible, brain is tangible,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're using your mind and the brain is the uptake of whatever the mind is putting out, then now you're talking about something spiritual as opposed to physical. And spirituality transcends the physical aspect of this conversation by leaps and bounds.
Always.
So you're always working less if you're using your brain as the capacity unit for the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so you reach, you have the ability to reach more people. You have the ability to do more things if you will only exercise your ability to use your mind in a way that it was created to be used, and let your brain be the storage unit that processes all that information, because it's just not the brain and the brain and the mind, this couple that's going on. Now you're talking about your emotions, you're talking about your imaginations, you're talking about your affections, you're talking about your will. Like, all of those are ancillary tentacles to those two components who are collaborating with one another
Through what? The soul.
through the
What
soul.
makes you the individual? To thyself be true. Y'all see how she did that? She broke that down into this one. This girl, she come with all of that. And I'm like, and then that's what you got. You got your mind, you got your brain, which the bigger picture of all of that is the soul. That's what makes you your individual self. And when
That was
you
so good. I love the way you unfolded your experience, and then it brought about a trigger in me, because that's what we do. Um, so when we're talking about the words that one may want to avoid in their communication, I want to start with a word. And that word is, you ever hear people say, always, like, use always a lot? Like, this always happens, or it's
mm,
always going to be like this.
mm.
Have you ever, like, if anybody in a room is around people, or even you yourself, that use the word always, can you put I am guilty in the comment section?
Yes, right. Put that because I'm sitting here, I got to chill, like, oh, yeah, yeah, that's a good one. But break it down. Come on.
So always is that you're taking a certain moment in time, whether it was in the past, the present, or you're projecting it into the future as being this one frame that is being propagated throughout your life forever. Just one frame in a movie. Can you imagine? Now, one of my favorite movies is Set It Off.
Okay. Okay, y'all.
Oh my
I
God,
know
one of
that.
my
I did
movies,
not know that. I did not know
yeah, one
that.
of my favorite movies is Set It Off.
Really?
I am so hood, like my
See, you said hood. I'm just saying gangster. I'm like, wait, I did not
I
know this side.
I love those types of movies. Like,
Okay. Okay.
so that's one of my, but like, if I imagine just one frame in that movie is almost 2 hours long. One frame of that movie going for 2 hours, that's what always in your communication looks like in your
Okay.
life.
Hmm. Yes, you stuck. It's like the movie Butterfly Effect. You keep circling, circling, but you say it always. You move the chair, but you say it always. It's circling. It's circling. Yeah, it makes me think about the a song. You know, I always think it's um, I think it's Stevie Wonder, and it's always, always, always. And I'll always
Always.
love you.
Like, she
Yeah,
get
yeah.
her singing to debut on, I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
y'all know everything. Cause in my world, I got a theme song. Like I walk with a theme song. Like people say I walk a certain kind of way. That's because I hear my own theme song. And nowadays you can't even,
girl.
I do not own the rights to the title. Well, yeah, everybody know that. Okay, anyway, that way.
So
Yeah, that's good what you just said. So always. So how
so if you want to stop diminishing, degrading, and diminishing, degrading, and distorting your world as it relates to your real absolute wellness, you want to eliminate that always out of your communication, period. And sometimes some of us, now this is what I did. Some of us may, Tamiko, it seems like the whole world, well, let me say, back in the
just come
day,
with just say it. Yeah.
wait, back in the day, when you wanted to lose weight, you would go on a what? Diet, right? So when you go on a diet, that means you're willing to do what for your actually, let's talk about the meal plan. What do you needed to do for your meal plan if you're going on a diet?
Well,
You want
that first of all, you got to have a meal plan.
what?
Let's start there. So if you're going on a diet, you're gonna have to make some changes. Period.
Right.
So
So
whatever that entails, you're gonna have to make some changes.
right. So if we're gonna if we're gonna if we go on a diet for our physical bodies, let's think about going on a diet for our mental wellness. And if we're going on a diet for our
Say that you got to say that again, because that's
if
how
we're going
powerful
on a,
it was. Come on.
that is powerful. I just
Yeah,
heard
don't skip it. Say, please say that again. Okay. Say it.
if we're going on a diet for our physical bodies, let's go on a diet for our mental wellness. Because our physical bodies, oh, this is so good. It's temporal. It's not, it's not even, it doesn't even have the same power as our mental wellness could afford us. So we're so busy taking care of our bodies, we're not even concerned with our mental wellness. So let's go on a mental diet. And I think I got this one from Emmett Fox. He has this thing about a 30-day mental diet. And what he says is that you pick a day where you start to choose, you're not going to allow these types of words to enter into your consciousness. Now, you may hear them, but that's not the point. If you hear them and you let them pass by, that's one thing. But if you hear them and you begin to ruminate on them, that's a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go on a mental diet for all these words we're going to share with you today. And we're only going to share 7, okay? Or less. Let's go on a mental diet and excavate these words out of our communication. And you have to do it for 30 days straight. So that means if day 15, you come by a word and that word takes a hold of you instead of you letting it just go by.
Reset.
You have to start all over from day.
Reset. Start from 1.
That's an Emmett Fox deal. And let me tell you, it works. It works. So that's our first word. Always. Our second word. This is an interesting one, Tamiko. And I'm so sure, I am so sure everybody says this word because they think it's just like cool. But it's not. Should.
Mm. Don't be shushing on me.
Don't be shoulding on me.
Don't be shoulding on me.
Should is this one that, no. We all have GPSs in probably on our phones, in our cars, and everywhere else. I just had a GPS put in my slingshot.
Okay. There you go.
You know why? Because I got tired of hooking up my phone to putting a USB in my slingshot and then letting my phone what do you call it? Sync to the
It's too much. All that's too
video.
much.
So
Yeah.
it was just too much. So
Too
I
much.
took it in and I paid for them to put a GPS in my slingshot so I don't have to do that anymore. I'm trying to simplify my life.
That part.
So when you use should, that means you have no GPS. hooked up to your world. Like, there's nowhere you're going. You don't put in your GPS,
should I go this way?
should I go this way? You put in the address of your destination, right?
Mhm.
You don't preface it with should. So if you're using should, that means you're really stuck. Like you can't even.
I didn't mean to laugh. You just got irritated. You like, you can't even. Y'all see my sister about this life, all right? Y'all see her, she like, listen, you will be shooting over here.
I know I play pickleball every day, right? So,
oh, well, or should you? I'm just kidding.
Listen, that part right there, because that's what I'm about to say. I was so tired this morning, but I dare not use the word, should I get out of bed, go play pickleball? Because you know what? You know what that should word is going to do? It's going to make me lay there in bed longer, and I would never go.
Mm-hmm. And then regret it because you're all stiff and tired.
And then beat myself up after the fact.
That's it.
Isn't that what we do?
That's what they do.
I don't do that, but
that's
isn't
what
that
they
what
do.
y'all do?
I don't do that. I don't do that. No.
Tamiko, you don't do that?
No. No. Sure don't. Yep. Who she thinks she is, she don't think she know. I don't. Shit on me. No.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And I always don't.
I always don't. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I always don't.
I always don't. Anyway, what's our next words? We got that one.
Now this is an interesting one because everybody, even if you don't use it now, which I don't, I have used it in the past. And that word comes in two forms: fear or afraid.
Okay.
Fear or afraid.
Well, I got a good one for that. When the fear, or if you're fearful or afraid, do it anyway.
Yeah.
Do it anyway.
Unless you create, and I think we gave you a framework to use to make it work for you, because sometimes some words are so ingrained, like samskaras. Tamika knows what that is.
Yep.
In your spirit, like it's not easy to get that groove out of your mind, like, because it has been entrenched so many times.
So
If you define it in a different way, that's a way, it's a game. It's a way that you can begin to transition to make it work for you. The mind is so amazing. It's interesting that we even started the conversation about talking about the mind and the brain. The mind is so amazing. It can do whatever you want it to do. Play with it a little bit. Play with your mind a little bit. You can do that. It's yours.
And you should do it, because then you know when other people are trying to play with your mind.
That is so good. That is so good. Yes, just true. But we did give you a framework for fear. We just have order for fear was don't give it to him, Tamiko.
No.
Oh, go back to episode.
I'm gonna say like
wait a minute. Go back to, I think that's episode 2.
Pastor Therese, he'll give you a scripture. He goes, it's in Deuteronomy. I think it's just read the whole Deuteronomy. So just watch all of it.
So go back to episode 2 of this season, and you can benefit from the framework that we gave you
for fear. And if you contact us and let us know that this might have been your first time and that you heard it today and that you went back and you found it and it worked for you and it changed your entire being, let us know. We might have a little something for you. We won't might. We do have something for you. But you have to say you heard this. All righty.
You ready for the next word?
Yes.
The next word is, I like this one too. Never.
Oh.
And if you notice, most of these words have a theme of absoluteness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what an absolute is, right? Well, not the drink, Tamiko. I know,
Oh, you know, yeah, absolute is a word. It's not a cocktail. And then if you still drinking absolute and you in your 50s, you need to like expand your horizon. And as one of my dear friends said, get with one that's gluten free, like Tito's.
It's gluten-free.
Listen, we ain't giving nobody no commercial credits over here, but we talking about absolute, the word. How about that?
Yeah.
Absolute or absolutely, unless you mean it.
Yeah.
Unless you mean it, and mean it in a uplifting, positive rise up, not in a pull down. Right.
Right.
No, yeah, never.
Yeah, don't say never means that you're saying that you will never maybe get an opportunity to experience something, or you never get an opportunity to have something. You're speaking limitation into your life and you don't even realize that's what you're doing. And I listen to some people and their communication, and they just be talking and they don't even realize they're putting all of these blocks up on what's possible for them just by that one word, because your words, when deposited down into the creative part of your mind, it's going to work. It's going to work for your good. It's going to work for your not so good, but it is impersonal. It will work for every word that you deposit into it. The creative part of your mind, it just works.
That's it. That's it.
Nico, maybe we need to have another a future conversation about, because some people may say, what does she mean, my creative mind? Some people don't even know that they have a creative mind.
True. Because often, yes, and we can explore that, absolutely, because when you hear creative, oftentimes people think it's something outside of them, meaning that they're an artist or they're a actress or they're a musician or a painter or crafts. But a creative mind has so much more meaning than that. And there's, and what I realize, and my mom used to say this all the time, and I've heard it said by others, but people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know what they don't know. But what I will say to that, it's okay to not know.
It is.
It's okay to not know. But here's the kicker. Once it has been brought to your attention, you no longer not know.
Once you've been exposed, you can't be
Once you've been exposed, you can't say you don't know, because now you've at least heard about it. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. You can let it float and never think any way about it again. But the thing that changes in that moment, once it's been brought to you, public service announcement, now you know of
right.
it. You might,
Right.
it doesn't mean you've mastered it. It's like when you hear certain words. So that part. And I think it's very, and it's okay. It's okay to not know. I'm the queen of like, okay, what does that mean? And let me say this. Let me say this to our audience. A person that knows is excited about sharing. A person that is perpetrating will come across arrogant.
Yeah.
Because people that are excited about something and somebody asks, they're, oh, well, and they can break it down in a way that makes sense. Okay. Unless they just can't. And that, don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. Don't make it yours. Don't make it yours. Okay. That part. But yeah, that's good. That's good.
How many words do we have so far? Do you know?
Yeah, we have, you said never. What was the last one we just did? We never?
Yeah, never.
Okay, so we have 4.
Or
Yes.
what do you think about this word can't?
Girl, get out of here.
She said it.
I'd have to, I would have to have my son on and have him tell you what used to happen to him when he would tell me what he can't do.
It's a 4-letter word that is so degrading for a person.
You see, I got irritated on that one. Tell me what
Right.
you do.
But that is a word.
It's a mindset.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's when you go into, who is that wrote that book? Carol Dweck, Dr. Carol Dweck. If y'all haven't read that book, the girl lays it out really well. I think she even has a TED Talk out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she, like, if you really want to get into like that can't thing and how it is related to your mindset, fixed and growth mindset, read her book.
Yeah, can't to me is one of those.
It's a cancer.
It is. And this might fall flat, might poke the bear. But to me, can't is a lazy word.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I'm gonna say it because I do that. And if it irritated you, you can't understand.
Ah!
But can is a lazy word. That word don't. I can't. I'm gonna walk away because then I can't hear you.
And let me tell you, Tamika will walk away like in the middle of a street. Y'all could be having a face-to-face conversation. You'll say
Turn and
something to
walk
her. She will
away.
do a turnaround about face and leave you standing there. You'll be like, what just
happened? Figure it out. Because then
She won't even give you an explanation.
Yeah. Okay. You figure it out. No, I'm not doing that. Because can't really. I like. Yeah. Yeah. That one is a look. You see veins popping out the side of my neck. That must still be a
Yeah, I see
word.
that big thing over there, girl. Like we gonna move on from this word.
That one. Look, next.
I hope y'all writing these down because they're very simple words, but they're so.
But life is simple. We make it complicated, and it's these type of words that we give negative power to that really complicates our life.
Right. What about, how you feel about this word? It's impossible. These words are so good, aren't they?
They are good. And I'm laughing because in my world, nothing is impossible. I'm trying to work out how I can levitate and fly. Okay. And not
but in all fairness, if you're using that word, that means that
it is possible for you.
Right. If you're using the word, it's impossible for you. The only reason why it's impossible for you because right now you're doing all that you can do because you've acquired all the knowledge you have to get you to where you are now. In order to get to the next level, you're going to have to do some other things to acquire the knowledge in order to do that thing that you're calling impossible. You just haven't become the person who can do it yet.
That part. Or
everything you want for that impossible destination you're trying to get to is on the other side of what you don't know. It's on the other side of what you don't know.
Okay, but I'm about to get a little philosophical here, right?
Bring it.
So if I was working with someone and they told me, Tamiko, it's impossible. What's impossible? Because now you gotta because what's impossible? You just told me what your dreams were. You just told me what you're trying to do or what you want. And then you follow it up and you didn't say, but it's impossible. You said it's impossible. What's impossible? Is it your dream? Is it how you get there? Like what? Break that thing down because you're throwing that up as a roadblock. All right. You're throwing it up like you a hurdler or you what's that pole vaulter? Pick up the
You don't
pole.
even know what you're saying impossible to.
Right. Like what's impossible? What's impossible? Because when you start to unpack the possibility, you take the M off, now you got a possibility. What's possible? What's possible? 2 letters change your whole perspective. Come on now. What's possible?
So when you said, it made me think about something. So when you said if you take the I am off, and if you look at the I am part,
I am.
right, the
I
I am is means I am. If you take those 2 words off, that first part, it means I am. And instead of saying am possible, you say
possible.
I am possible.
This is and this is how I coach. That's what I would do with that word. Because I've done, as you see, that's one I've done a lot because that one will come up. It's or they'll say it seems impossible or what seems impossible? Because I am. It's telling you I am possible, whatever it is. And when you can start looking at it like that, and not only looking at it, but you had to see it first, then you feel it. There's nothing impossible. It might take a little time, but it's not even gonna take as much time as you think once you start thinking different. You'd be amazed at what we can draw to ourselves. We are our biggest blocks. Okay. We really are our biggest blocks. And we have the ability to make life a whole lot harder than it truly has to be. And y'all listen, okay? If you go back and you watch the episodes, one of the main themes for me and purpose in life is to have fun. If you watch the early episodes, I didn't even say what I do or what I offer because I wasn't having fun yet. I just got back to Cleveland and I was just like, Dr. Marnita was on fire. She was the impact coach and all that. And I was like, and I'm here with you to hold it down. How you doing? And yeah, it was real interesting.
I think it's really interesting because if you trace the conversations from season 1 to season 2, in season 2 is when you begin to see her unfold her essence of really being engaged, fully engaged in the process. It is a sight to see.
It is. And if you, it is real sisterhood. It is real coaching and it's personal coaching because I would go back and watch. That's another thing I would say. I was in a friend's class and she was presenting. She did a good job, but it was 2 hours of talking at you. That's a lot. And so and she asked me on the next one, would I take verbal notes for her? And I said, absolutely. I said, but I have a suggestion for you. If you have access to being able to watch the recording, watch it. And I said, because you can watch it and then whatever you have, let's go over that. Because see, you might present in a way that you learn in, but you have to think about your audience. And so when we started, I was definitely in a mindset of, okay, I'm here. I'm here. Okay, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And so then I when I watched myself, I was like, oh my goodness, okay, you can do better than this. This is a mess. Dr. Marnita was on fire. She was about it. But I could see her trying to navigate, like, where are you? What are we doing? And I'm sitting there like, okay.
And
But
Tamiko, I really enjoyed that, like towards the end of season 2.
mhm.
Tamiko and I, we talk all the time. I think we talk all the time. And with that, I can appreciate the access to her. Because towards the end of season 2, we were really able to talk about what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And I brought it up because I was like, because I brought it up in an apology. Like, sister, like, I owe you an apology. Like, that was a lot. And you stayed with it. Like, okay, but let me tell you what was going on. And so what might have been an impossible me, relationship, words, I don't partner, like all these little things, that little idiosyncrasies of mine. Okay, Miss Superhero, One Woman Wonder, whatever. All of that got unpacked live,
Mm.
right? And then I learned some things about my sister because she ain't one to suffer fools either. Right. So just the not even unpacking, but I would say the unveiling and then the blossoming of conversations, of the conversation for your soul. Like, I'm taking a guys, Dr. Marnita, she loves to read. Me, I love to take classes. So y'all know about the podcast class I was taking. Okay. And so now I'm taking this narrative writing, and Lisa Weiner. This is like game changer because I've been journaling for the last 18 years. But the one thing that was super cool that I appreciated about the class is not only we didn't get to the writing part until probably the last 2 weeks, but what we really focused on is being aware of where a story sits in your body. Are you comfortable with sharing a story? Who would you share it with? What do you have to say? Listening, being active listeners. And I feel that one of the things that our podcast brings to the listener is the ability to hear each other. Because I know we talked about this in one episode, and no disrespect, because they've been on for 20 years, I think, but I cannot watch The View. Why? Because they talk on top of each other.
Mm.
That cutting each other off and screaming at each other, I can't. I cannot, and I don't. So, but this is a true conversation. Are we scripted? No. But do we have a theme? Yes. Do we give strategies and frameworks? Absolutely. Do we have a different style? Completely.
We sort of do.
Right. But there are some similarities here.
Yeah.
And the beauty in it is when you have over 120 years worth of wisdom, worth of time, worth of sisterhood coming at you live, unscripted, and to be able to do this now almost a year and come with this, with a level of respect, with a level of commitment, with a level of love, with a level of passion, and some more words that I can throw at week after week. That's why we're getting so many positive responses to what's happening, because this is live. Are we trying to run it and throw it on Instagram and all of these other things? No, not right now. But what we do, respect your time, and we respect you showing up. I've personally sent it to some people, and man, it's gotten some really cool responses. So just to put it out there, if you guys are interested in us coming to you live, having a raw conversation with the two of us. I don't know if y'all can handle us live though.
Yeah, that would be a lot. But the benefit that comes out of it is so worthy.
Yes. So we're developing that too. We got some things that are coming up. I wanted to just put that out there. Um, because in our world, all things are possible. All things.
Girl, say that again.
Okay. All things. We got one more word, my sister. What's our last
We're
one?
at 6. Are you kidding me?
You said
Okay, so we got one more word.
we got
Okay.
one more word.
Here's the word. The crescendo of words that you should stay away from. Failure. Did I do it? Is that the word? Is that like the way to end the
That
word
is a
conversation?
good way to end it. And why, my sister, should failure not be a
Failure.
mm, mm, mm. Come on, bring it.
You know, the older I get, I invite failure because it does something like in my spirit. um, the way I used to feel about failure and the way I feel now about failure, y'all know I play pickleball every day.
Yes.
So in pickleball, they have this strategy called dinking. And when I first started playing, like you dink at the kitchen. That means you come up to a certain line, and the pickleball court is in 2 different colors. There's a light blue color and a dark blue color. You're only dinking in the light blue color, which is the kitchen. And so in the beginning, over a year ago, when I first started playing, I could not get the dinking part. Like I said, and it did something to me. I'm like, I'm gonna get this sucker. And like, I kept going out there every day. Y'all know I play every day. I play every day except for Sunday. And I'm dinking. And even when they hit the ball real hard to me, I hit it back where I can dink. I am putting it in the light blue section because that's where the dinking counts. And the game is won or lost. Ooh, this is going to be so good. Y'all ready for it? The game is won or lost in the dinking game. It's the
Mm,
hit in the game.
it's the wait, it's
It's
the
the
last.
lightest hit in the game. You
Mm,
don't hit the ball. When you're dinking, you're hitting the ball lightly.
mm.
Most people think they're going to win by hitting the ball where it's going to be a torpedo. That's not where the game is won or lost. The game is won or lost close to the net and in the dinking game.
So what I'm hearing you say, this would be very similar to golf. Because once you get on the greens, you can't still be knocking the ball across the 9,000 feet. Because now
Yeah.
you got to be real strategic if you on that green to be able to get it. Like, that's why it's called putting. So dinking is like putting and
Dinking is like putting.
okay.
So what I realized is in the beginning, I kept
You
missing the
was
mark.
coming with a power game. You was coming with a power.
Girl, listen, I got muscles. I am a gym warrior.
Not to run it on fire.
I am a gym warrior.
Warrior.
But don't listen, I got biceps. Don't play with me. Like
Okay.
these muscles was working against me.
Yeah, you up there tearing stuff up. Mhm.
So in the beginning, it was a challenge for me to get into the dinking arena because that's where the game is won or lost. Now, today, I have overcome my perception of, I'm gonna call it failure because that's our word, right?
Yep.
Of being able to get it into the dinking arena. So, failure, if I stopped in the beginning, I would have never gotten to where I am now because now, like, don't play with it. I tell people on the court all the time, don't play with it. Y'all better come with it. Don't play with me today because I will dink you out of the game.
Now I'm gonna dink you out. I'm gonna start using that one. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna dink you out. Okay. You got
So, like, I love to
because once
perception of
you
failure.
dink them out, game over, right? You
Game
won.
over. We
won.
can go up to 11 points. Don't let it be close. Because you gonna get your feelings hurt. Because I'm gonna dink you out of the game.
I'm gonna dink you out. Game over. I win. Boom, bam.
So failure, that word kind of inspires me because I know for sure, Tamiko. And oftentimes, like if I'm in a season of perceived failure, I turn it over to spirit. And even sometimes when I'm on that court, I said, now spirit, you take over. Because my body can't do what you can do.
There it is. Give it over. And failure is just a rehearsal for true triumph.
Yeah.
Oh, I just made that up. Let me write that down.
Write that down, girl. Say it again.
I said failure is just a rehearsal for true triumph.
I like that.
Because yes. I used to, and then I realized, like, what did Donnie McClarkin say? We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. Yeah. So that part. And once you learn, but that comes with maturity.
It does.
Unless you just be in a complete mess up over and over. But maturity will give you learn from those mistakes. You should. But the beautiful thing is, if you don't, you're going to keep committing the same mistake over and over and
until
over.
You get it.
Until you get it. Okay. But that, it's such.
So either you're going to abandon it or you're going to get it.
Or that's it. One or the other. One or the other. And suggestion would be to get it and move forward.
Right. So, I got a framework for today, right?
Yes.
This is Lent season.
Yes, it is.
This is Lent season. So through all of my listening to like a lot of the theologians and pastors, they're calling this seek season.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to use a framework of seek because it is Lent season. And seek meaning that we are having the ability to tap into something by taking a mental diet and excavating these words out of our communication and our thoughts.
You're ready to excavate the words.
Tamiko,
come here and get educated.
Tamiko, you be cracking me up.
My sister be coming. They're like, what we gonna do? What with the words? But you will triumph.
Y'all ready for this framework? It's called seek. We seeking. We're in our seek season.
We are seeking and finding. Come on.
Okay, so the S means we have the ability to tap into our sovereignty, our power.
Nice. Okay.
When you remove these words, now you begin to tap into your sovereignty. The E, first E, means you're tapping into an elevation for yourself. You're tapping into an elevation because dismissing these words can only take you higher. The second E, y'all getting this? This is seek season. The second E is you're tapping into an evolution of yourself. You're transforming yourself into a person that you haven't met yet.
That part.
And the K is you're tapping into knowledge that was always there, but by not using these words, you gain access to knowledge that you didn't have available to you before.
Mhm.
You just didn't know how to, it was always there. You just didn't know how to get to it because the word was blocking your access to that knowledge. Seek season. We're in seek season.
Seek season. And with that knowledge, like they say, seek and you will find. You have your S for sovereignty. You have your E for elevation. And we've had elevation show up in other frameworks as well. So we're continuing on that elevation. You have the second E, which is excavation.
No, evolution.
Evolution. Look, I'm excavating that, getting rid of that, and then evolution. Okay.
That's your transformation.
That's your transformation, and it will be televised.
Right.
Right here on our station. And not last, but now, the knowledge.
The knowledge.
The knowledge is queen or king.
Ooh, yes, it is.
Knowledge is queen. And always learning, always learning. I love the fact that at this point, we getting ready to start getting into birthday season. It's not till June, but by next month I'll be like moving up to that. Y'all, this is 6-2 coming up. 6-2, as in 60 freaking 2. And I am excited as if I was a 2-year-old. Okay, you're not 2-year-old get all excited about their birthday. Is today my birthday because my birthday is today? No, but when you seek and you use this framework each and every day, but each new year that you are blessed with, you are excited. I know some people don't celebrate their birthday. I get it. That's you.
It's celebrating life.
But that's it. But the the blessing that comes with the day to day. And if you're like, well, how can you feel that way? And all the news, turn your TV off, turn your TV off. Turn your TV off, turn your TV off. Because I don't dwell in that. So I don't have to worry about that. And from an entrepreneur perspective, that's a whole nother series if we were to go into that category. But to thyself be true, y'all. Bless you.
That is so true. And I'm glad she brought up 60 because we look good at 60. Like we look
Fabulous.
We look fab. Like
Fabulous.
but Tamiko, was really disheartening for me. I come across a lot of people. And I think this part may be more in alignment with what you help people with. But I come across a lot of 60-year-olds and 50-year-olds that are dealing with a lot of health limitations. And it's disheartening. Let me tell you why it's disheartening to me. Because what I know is that if they would only begin to seek to tap into their power and seek their power by removing like some of the conversations they're having with their self in their heads. They like your body is made to heal itself, but I don't know these people, so I don't know for sure. But what I am going to say is that the body was made to heal itself. And you can start to turn things around, even if it's just for a little bit. It's not all in a pill. It's not all in going to you're so religious to your doctor's visit, you can't even be by yourself to think about why you're in this situation in the first place. And it's never too late. We all leaving here one day.
That's
It's
it.
never too late.
And I want to commend you because, yes, you that's listening right now, this is not just Dr. Marnita talking about some textbook philosophy or some theology, not philosophy. This is a sister right here that's talking from testimony. And I'm going to leave it at that. Because again, if you go back, she breaks that thing down. Okay. Walking, living, beautiful essence of a testimony. So that part.
We got to do better.
Yep.
There's no reason. We weren't created to live in a debilitating, distorted, diminishing context. We just weren't.
I'm telling you, it doesn't, yes.
It may land with some people a certain kind of way, but what I am sharing with you right now, it's never too late to begin to turn it around. You just have to choose to.
That's it. If you want something different, do something different. Be somebody different. You might find out you like that new you. But
and pray. I'm gonna put prayer in there.
Oh, please start there.
I pray every morning, and I
pray with an A.
Tamiko in another episode that I memorized Psalms 91. That
Psalms, I listened to it today. And I was thinking about you. I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
That is such a powerful prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it unfold in your life and unfold in the lives of the people that you love. Because
Mm-hmm.
part of the prayer protects the people who are close to you also. Because no disaster shall come to your tent. Your tent meaning the people in your household, the people who are closest to you.
And people in your household, and also people in your
realm,
in your nucleus. Who are your people? Your people that you talk to, you know, or connected to daily. You know what I'm saying? Those are it does. And I'm gonna tell you now that you brought up prayer, and I'm not gonna apologize, because I find oftentimes I hear people doing that, where they apologize for speaking their truth or speaking their testimony or speaking their gospel. But I'm not going to apologize in saying that once I started to go in and connect with God about my new environment and quote unquote, why was I here? I got uplifted. It started to make more sense. Yeah. It started to get more comfortable. And that's what you start to see in real time every Tuesday. You know, today is Thursday, but every Tuesday. And I am so grateful and thankful for that, because that's also the beautiful thing about being blessed with continuing life. You continue to have amazing experiences over and over and over and over and over and over again. Part of my gifting in my practice. And that's when people go, well, what do you do? I was a little uncomfortable, like, well, that part, you know. But what I realized even with that is that with prayer, it's made it a lot easier for me to not only be me, but share verbally, you know, who I am and what I offer as my service. I'm a service provider. I've been for the last 40 years, maybe even longer, 45. But what I know to be true is that I'm excited about what God is doing in my life right now. You know, it's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
And what was that called in pickleball again? Dinking?
Dinking.
And I'm dinking.
Dinking. She got her dinking game on.
I got my dinking game on because I had to become softer.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get her out on the court.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because this sounds like something I can do. I want this and golf. I like both. I really like golf too. That's why.
With that being said, Tamiko, this was a great conversation.
Yes.
Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If it's helped you and you think it will help someone else that you love and who could you think could benefit from the Seek season, please share this conversation with someone else and let them be blessed too.
And remember to like and share,
Like and share and subscribe.
And subscribe. Commit. I did.
Commit. Put on that alert. Like you get an alert every time.
Notifications for commitment that you subscribe. Check us out. Tell
There
a
you
friend.
go.
It's just so beautiful.
And so we look forward to seeing you next week.
That's right.
And
don't do anything that I wouldn't do twice, because I might try anything once. Have a great weekend.
Have a great time. Have a great
Bye.